Welcome back. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi, and today we're going to be talking about Mark Zuckerberg's announcement of the Meta Quest Pro and how it relates to, I guess, the metaverse, right?
Well, yeah, not just that, because apparently after that presentation, the metaverse was mentioned much less frequently, I guess, than what we were expecting, because like they brought in more like physical applications and use cases for their whole tech stack.
Yeah,
right?
So they revealed a new headset, and I guess the most shocking thing to me was that it was $1,500.
Yeah, dude. So that's not just to you. Everybody's out there like very angry or like, I don't know. Because, you know, up until now, the Quest has been, I think, it's been a hot consumer product.
Yeah. It's
like last year, I bought like all my nieces and nephews' Quests.
Yeah.
Just because I want them to get like a nice little
nieces and nephews.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I'll tell you that this Christmas they are not getting a full suite of Quest Pros or whatever the hell these things are called.
Yeah,
it's not happening, bros.
Yeah.
But so that's the point. Like now the consumer market's gonna have to suffer a bit because it feels like a pivot.
It's definitely not for consumers. It's more like a business play.
Yeah. What can you like an office desktop?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
See, that's a weird thing because you need your computer, and then now you need this headset to like communicate with your colleagues.
Yeah.
In the virtual space and have meetings virtually.
Well, that's like their main. For $1,500.
Yeah.
That's the main value add, right? Because
it's like another laptop.
Well, yeah, but a whole new utility case. But in other words, it's another hardware component that the Meta is envisioning is going to become an everyday main staple, like in every office environment. Just like the early days of the PC development world, right? Personalized computers just started in the office, didn't it? And then because they were expensive devices.
Yep, that's right.
HP. HP. What was the big one? IBM. Yeah. Those machines, right? They're probably multiples of thousands of dollars. Like, of vital equipment for like a corporate.
Yeah.
Setting.
Yeah, that's where it started.
So that's where they're going back, I guess, because why
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it a pivot so much. It's more like it's a branch of their R&D, right? They have the consumer side, they have the business side, and like the business side is like AR, like communication with colleagues and like collaborative development, right? And then you have the consumer side where it's like VR headsets, and I'm sure there's going to be like a Quest 3.
Like around the same price point, $300 to $500.
Yeah, just upgraded resolution, frame rates, all that stuff.
I see. Yeah, if that's the case, but because they still incorporated gaming into this device, so I guess just so you're still like tapped into that ecosystem, even if it is mostly for office execution.
Yeah, and the office execution aspect of it incorporates AR elements as well. So when you put this headset on, it's relatively thin, like in the grand scheme of things. But you don't get that immersion that you would otherwise get with a traditional VR headset where it's like your goggles and it's like dark.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of space, right?
You see that little thing that's on the screen right now? You think that's how it's going to look. You see how there's like a bottom part there underneath the headset itself that like it's still visible to the real world?
Oh, absolutely. You'll be able to see like all the stuff. Yeah, like your keyboard is like right there and like kind of looking around. You can kind of see everything.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's absolutely not immersive.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different, I think for sure this is more of an AR focused platform then, because the whole purpose of VR is ultimate immersion, right?
Yeah.
So
and another thing that they added, they have multiple cameras on the controllers themselves.
Wow.
So now your headset, like I don't know if you've played the Quest 2 long enough to where once the headset loses visual contact to your controllers, it like completely like disconnects the arms, right? It's like it doesn't get that feedback.
Oh, I see.
So now with these cameras, now you can just be under the table and like still be playing the game or doing that activity or whatever it is.
Interesting. Is that going to help you like not smash your hands into things like
I just did?
Like you just did?
Probably not. But,
okay.
But yeah, I mean, with this, I think it just kind of adds like a little bit more fidelity.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
I think there's a cost to the battery in this case, but nonetheless, this is just one of the couple of 5 different things that they announced today.
Yeah, I guess that's like the pretty much like what I was expecting as far as like this is it.
Yeah.
From the Oculus / Meta event, I wasn't expecting much more beyond this, but
yeah.
yeah, the main takeaway from the event, I was actually very impressed just because not so much the headset. I mean, okay, I guess I could see valuable applications. Now they have like a whole adoption endeavor ahead of them. So all these offices have to see this as valuable components to like, because there's no way we're going to expect like people to want to spend this kind of money just to, enhance their work experiences on their own, right? I'm assuming it's going to have to come from like a corporate perspective. Like we're going to invest in this so our workforce is much more efficient.
You get that new job, all of a sudden your laptop comes in and your Quest Pro comes in.
That's right. That's what they're banking on. I feel like that's their.
It's like we got a meeting, guys, and it's like make sure your headset has been charged, and then you all like jack into the matrix and communicate with each other.
Yeah. So that's it. Like that's exactly what they've been working on and pushing.
Yeah.
Here it is, dude. Is it gonna happen? You think?
I mean, I think it will.
Well, part of the presentation was their partnership with Microsoft too. Like they brought on the head guy, dude, the head honcho from CEO of Microsoft. So
that's right.
Every office in America is using their product, right? As to create, they create the best software, I guess, for office efficiencies.
Yeah.
Probably other people will disagree with that. I don't know, but it seems to be that case because Microsoft is still a huge company, right? They're doing something right.
Yeah, they're still
out there
making billions, right?
So yeah, it'd be safe to say if they have Microsoft along on this initiative to push this out to the corporate, ecosystem, then I think there's a good chance it could happen.
Well, there's a market for this, right? There are going to be companies that want to kind of think differently, think about ways to incorporate sort of like a distributed work environment and how to bring everybody back together without having to infect others with like viruses and stuff, right? So
yeah, but dude, come on, that's like a 1 in 100-year thing, dude. Like, do we really have to stay separated for the rest of?
It's not just a virus thing. It could be like an economic thing too, right? It is more economically efficient to have your employees work from home than it is to be at an office.
So they don't have to like spend money on gas.
Well, not that, but spend money on a building, spend money on like
I see.
all this stuff, right? It is better, and then better, from a mental health perspective for your employees to be working from home.
I think.
And so it's like, well, how do I incorporate all these things and then have
depends
everybody
who's at home with you. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
It totally depends on your home life status.
Yeah.
Because apparently, the whole COVID situation, divorce rates were like all-time high, dude. So work serves some additional function. It's not all bad. The idea of having to all like go to a singular, spend a part of your day immersed into a whole different part of your life, which is your work,
Yeah.
And then there's benefits to it, but I guess so. The benefit of collaborative work, people being together, is I think it fosters better results.
Sure.
So if we're advocating for a future where we don't have to do that anymore, then these technology layers have to exist.
They're absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way around it.
Sure.
There's no way the future's Zoom, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think the Zoom is just our
like
current internet's representation of communication.
Yeah, collaboration beyond the physicality presence, physical presence. So
so the next Zoom is more like
Zoom is like
we jack in.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna look back in history context. Think of Zoom as like that was the beginning of the metaverse.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And COVID, all this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So of course the Quest Pro announcement, and then he jumps into his avatar form, which looks way better than that one image that they showed back a few months ago of what the metaverse was going to look like. So this is definitely an improvement. But this is
it looks like a mix between like a Pixar movie and like The Sims.
Yeah,
that's what this looks like.
Sure,
they had to do it, dude, because people got too pissed.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's the old version, right? Those little legless things in the crowd.
Those are the old versions.
That's the V1 avatar. So so they're upgrading that front, and now they got legs.
Now they have legs. Yeah.
And there he is, dude.
Yeah. So they did announce the leg thing. So that was like a short segment.
So yeah, but this is more of on the metaverse side, right? So we started off talking about AR. That has nothing to do with the metaverse, right?
Oh, it depends.
It depends on your definition, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I think you could bring elements of the metaverse into AR. Like, what if you're taking care of like a virtual pet? You want that pet to be.
It's true, like a Rovi.
Yeah.
You could bring it into your
Right.
physical reality. But when I say metaverse, I mean more like the virtual side. Like,
Okay.
because that's to me is what one of the more interesting takeaways from this whole presentation is. Like, they're not just focused on the virtual element of our future social existence.
Sure.
They're focusing on every single digital layer possible. That means you impose digitized content in the physical world.
Yeah.
Or just fully immersion into the digital side.
Yeah, because they showed taking your phone and scanning 3D objects around your home and then importing them into the virtual world.
Like this cup holder. If I wanted this in my virtual environment for whatever reason.
Scan it,
It's a very sentimental cup holder. I want this with me everywhere.
Yeah.
Scan it, and it's there.
Yeah. And so it looked very good, right? And so they're like you're saying, they're incorporating all the elements that like the technology that might be necessary in order to have that immersion in the metaverse. So, but most importantly, they didn't really talk about the metaverse all that much.
I feel like they did. Not a lot, because again, they spend the majority of the time demonstrating tech.
Yeah.
Because, and we've come to this understanding ourselves, like just being actually immersed in the existent form of the metaverse. Like we are clearly in the technology age of the metaverse, because there's not enough tech in existence to do anything of substance
for sure
in the metaverse. Like everyone's struggling to create like real value for people, for humans, because there's just not enough technical frameworks to enable that. So Facebook's all in on just pumping out as much valuable tech as you can even foster, right? Because they're hoping, and then they ended the whole conversation with like this nice Mark Zuckerberg monologue.
Yeah, at the very end, it was like open this and
open this, open that. It's like we're all a single human unit. Stuff like this, right? Like we all need to work together. So
so he's saying the right things, but I think the most important thing that they've showed was the fact that they're building technology for others to use. And he said specifically in that end monologue that he wants a collaborative metaverse construction and like...
Yeah, because if you make the metaverse comparisons to the internet and you contextualize the construction of the internet, obviously there was no single company that did that. It was like a whole industry of people, you know, all of tech built the internet together. So it was obviously a very lucrative endeavor. There was tons of incentives to contribute to that stack, the internet stack. So the metaverse will be the same thing. There's going to be tons of reason to get involved and participate, because it's just going to be that valuable. Yeah,
there's going to be different applications of the metaverse focused on gaming versus focused on getting work done, collaborative.
Yeah. So it's not obvious yet at all, especially to the everyday consumer, just because there's not enough things to engage with. So
yeah, we were watching the live stream, and a lot of the comments were like, when GTA 6?
Yeah, like basically like... dissatisfaction across the board from like the public sentiment.
For sure. And there's like $1,500 product here.
We were throwing out, or we're watching it on CNET, and they were throwing out these poll questions, and everything seemed pretty damn sentiment or negative up until like the very last couple things they demonstrated, which one was like the neural interfacing.
Sure. Yeah.
That was like objectively cool. I don't care what you think of Mark Zuckerberg,
here it is.
what you think of Facebook. Like, this technology is just badass.
Yeah, so it's sensing the electrical signals coming from your brain to your wrist.
Yeah,
and then it's altering this this game that they're playing.
Yeah, it looks like he's flicking a joystick, right? Yeah. Something you would do on your Xbox controller, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And yeah, this representation is like the function of that, right? The little cat going left and right based on those hand gestures.
The most interesting thing here is that the game adjust itself to how the player is playing. For example, she's swiping as if she's swiping a screen.
Oh, okay. I didn't even pick up on that.
And he's playing as if he's controlling a joystick.
Like just more extreme movement? Well, less extreme on her case?
It's like, because look, let me go back here.
Yeah. And that's where the AI comes in, right? It learns of the machine learning. Yeah,
exactly. So when she swipes, she always returns home, right, to the center.
Oh, I see.
He's like, I'm left, I'm center, I'm right.
Dude, that guy has an intense thumb, dude. He's got a wide range. I can't do that.
Yeah. And so the next thing that they show here is Now, without even moving,
Yeah.
just the electrical signals themselves are the ones dictating where the character goes.
That's right. So like literally just keep your hands still.
Yeah.
So what's happening in that moment? Like the brain is deciding based on the visual cues it's getting and from the game itself. It's like I need to go right.
Yeah.
I need to go left.
Right.
But you don't actually have to move. It's like that information it's being relayed to the hand itself, and this device is picking it up.
Yeah.
Just off of like, I don't know, science.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be pressure, right? You're
all
pushing
these
down
different
and
variables.
so nonetheless, it's being controlled by electrical signals, right? Not actual physical movement.
So this is interesting. This is just like the beginning of that whole tech stack in itself. So like what's the evolution of that? Like what is the mature 20-year version?
Well, it's simple. It's like it's what
Absolute
Elon
neural
Musk
connection. Yeah.
neural link, right?
Yeah,
you
neural
could
link.
just think about your avatar moving in space and playing a game.
So you just be just chilling.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do any movement at all. You're in there.
Just thinking about it. That's it.
Wow.
Now,
So
what are the benefits of that? Well, I guess everyone with a working brain could
Yeah.
I guess, collaborate and work on this stuff.
Yeah,
at
I
the
mean,
same time.
it's huge. Again, like one of our main value propositions of the metaverse is it's the economic opportunity of such. So there's people on the planet, even though they're able-bodied, they just don't have access to that. And there's people who are disable-bodied.
That's true.
And it doesn't matter where you're on the planet. That's obviously very disadvantageous to your opportunity on this planet, right? To earn value for yourself. So in the metaverse, if we could figure out these 100% neural connections, like your body's abilities and contributions mean minimal to how you can perform and execute and provide value in the virtual space. Like that's fucking huge.
Well, not only that,
that almost brings a tear to my eye, dude.
Like I think about Stephen Hawking, and he was completely disabled, but he had like a completely functional brain, and he was able to. But his communication ability was like extremely hindered with what existed at the time. And so if he had access to this new technology, he might be able to write, dozens of books,
unless that specific disease, you don't, well, I guess if it didn't depend on like the neural connections, like in your extremities,
that's true.
It would have to be localized in your brain, right? So maybe that's where like,
more innovation would need to
or
occur.
the actual Neuralink because it's actually in there.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
But nonetheless, this is all part of that same umbrella of like fucking crazy super tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think what impressed me the most is their evolution of their avatar technology. And so this guy right here is a real avatar. So he's not real, even though it looks pretty good.
I thought that was a real person.
Right. And so this is what they showed during the event where they switched from Facebook to Meta.
Yeah.
So this is part of and then now they have like an evolution of this. Here's this guy's going to be changing his clothes just by jumping. But here we'll show you in a few seconds the kind of the updated version of this. So here's jumping, changing clothes. So that's pretty impressive.
Like just even like the movements feel very human. I don't know.
This is Mark Zuckerberg's avatar. So that's not him talking. It's his
codec avatar.
There we go. Yeah.
That's what it says down there.
And so he was saying that
another technology that they're providing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the way you get this information is you just scan your face, and it has all this information with his codec avatar functionality.
Yeah, but this right here is like a
very slow to process version of it.
Like it's not mass producible yet.
Right.
Like this is like the highest end version of this tech, but
yeah.
I guess what the consumers will get to experience is not this, but this is what they demonstrated. It's still pretty goddamn impressive.
Yeah.
So this is a real girl. She's human, and she's using her phone to, I guess, craft her 3D representation of herself, and there it is, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking lit.
Yeah, the eyes are tracking where the camera is.
Yeah.
Like automatically.
This looks like Unreal Engine 5.
And this is mass producible, meaning the consumers will have access to this.
So this is probably what you'll end up seeing during your business meetings and your work meetings and stuff. Like you're gonna have to scan your face, otherwise you're gonna get like a negative tally on your work review at the end of the month. It's like how many times did Alice like actually render this month? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like she missed a few renderings. It's like dude.
It's like that's
that's definitely a ping on your performance review. But at least you get to stay home, dude. So like just render yourself. Damn it.
Yeah, but imagine being able to see these avatars like in the metaverse is like.
Well,
I think, man, I think that's going to change like how we actually perceive the metaverse. Like it's going to be more real.
Well, it's going to be more like, you know how our brains are these like, you know, evolutionary productions.
Yeah.
And they have these instinctual cues and stuff that we kind of don't really control or manage. They just like happen.
Yeah.
Because they've evolved to function in such ways. I think having these ultra realistic representations, obviously much closer to what our brains recognize as like human and things that we should be careful about. And like we should actually have an affinity towards that as opposed to like this cartoonish thing.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the most important thing. Like, you know, analyzing those brain waves, if we can actually build real intimacy with these avatar representations.
Which I think we will. I mean, we build intimacy with a lot less.
Through text.
Yeah.
When people would like fall in love. Yeah. Through much less mechanistic. You know.
Less influences, less. Man, what's the word I'm looking for? Less stimulation.
Yeah, less of that. So I mean, dude, we're going all in on this whole direction of, you know, and that's this whole new existence layer. That's what I like to think about it. So
yeah.
I think, what else do they present? I mean,
I think that was it. I mean, it was the avatars, and then his whole monologue about open
this,
access,
open that.
and
let's build this together, lads. You know, send me all your money, basically. But I mean, I was impressed. My genuine takeaway from this.
Yeah, they're trying to solve a lot of problems.
Yeah,
all at the same time.
And I've been hearing the reports about how like they're just bleeding capital over the last several years because of this pivot.
R&D, that's what it is.
Yeah, I know, but I just didn't really see it. Now
I see.
We all got to see it, and it's still like super early, and it just it reinforces my assessment of where we are in the space right now.
How early we are.
We're in that tech age for sure. Like we're super early. We got a long road ahead of us.
Yeah, the best part about this is that this gives access to new tools to developers, and like we'll be able to create new stuff with all this tech, right? And so it's exciting. I liked it. I think the headset's too expensive, but it's not for consumers. So there we go.
So we should see something like on the more consumer friendly side within the next 6 to 12 months.
I feel like it depends how old the Quest 2 is. I don't know how old it is. Maybe like 3 years now, 4 years.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess
say 3.
It's like 3 to 4 years. So yeah, that's our thoughts on the MetaQuest Pro and the MetaConnect.
So are they screwed, dude? Was this a flop?
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
No, I'm asking you. Is this a flop?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I like this.
Certified, not a flop.
Yeah. No, this is good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If I don't think consumers were all happy about what they saw today, but when are consumers happy about any like development stuff, like developer centric stuff, right?
Yeah.
Very rarely. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Follow us on Twitter at @TheBlockRunner, at MetaZone.io, and at RobyAI.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.